It's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
Thanks for joining us on today's edition of Unity Trend on Unity 93.3 FM from the hills of ZINARIYA here in Jos North, Plateau State, Nigeria. We are reaching you live. It's 8 o'clock and it's a beautiful time. And Iji Adamu is my name, your anchor for this wonderful program. And today being Wednesday, the 17th day in the month of April, the year 2024, happens to be the very last month in the first quarter of the year, and it's running very fast. God has been doing this all alone. No one was there to help God make things work. Okay, and so we praise him. We give him all the glory. And in case you're passing through any health challenge, I pray God remember you for healings even today. But of course, you would need to see a doctor if you have what it takes. And so according to the words of Professor Poveno Hechibama, sometimes in this program, he would say there are more sick people on the street than you have them in the hospitals. And this is because they don't just want to go to the hospital. No, maybe they don't have what it takes to get to visit health practitioners. And so in the studio this morning, very quickly, I will not take much of your time. I have to my right Barrister Paul Zaruma, someone who believes in the greatness of this country just as the man seated to my left-hand side does. And so he'll be saying a very big good morning to our listener and viewer even this morning. So Barrister Paul Zaruma, good morning, sir.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are receiving us from. Wish you a blissful day.
Thank you so much. The first segment, is review. And to my left is Professor Poveno Hechibama. He is a public and current affairs commentator, someone who believes in the greatness of this country. He'll be saying a big good morning to our listener and viewer.
Good morning, Kulbi.
Good morning, sir.
Have you eaten?
Ramadan.
Viewers and listeners, a big good morning to you all from around the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Special good morning from Nigeria to my friend Dr. Otto, Rwandan, based right now at France, and to Dr. Katie Clemens Wasi at Kigali, Rwanda. Good morning to every one of us, viewers and listeners. We're having a fantastic time already. And please stay tuned to 93.3 FM, radio and TV. If you're watching by satellite, we appreciate you. Facebook, YouTube, by whatever means you're watching and listening to us, we're happy to have you. Please stay tuned to this broadcast because we have issues of national and international importance that we'll be discussing. But let me quickly, as usual, remind you that 2024 is not waiting for you. What about those goals, those objectives, those dreams, those visions, those plans, those projects you've earmarked that you are going to accomplish in 2024? Remember that your goals must be SMART. S-M-A-R-T. SMART means they must be specific, they must be measurable, they must be achievable, they must be relevant, they must be time-bound. And in fact, you can make them smarter by evaluation and revising as the year goes on. And remember that for you to be great in life, you must be a man and a woman of vision, of passion, and of action. If you don't put action to your dreams, they will never come to pass. If you keep sleeping and you don't wake up, your dreams will not come to pass. So put some action to those dreams. Don't give up even when things are getting more and more difficult. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Quitters don't win, and winners don't quit. As you go about your activities, as you go about your business, as you go about your dreams, always remember to be the change that you want to see in the world.
Of course, you may want to spice up your passion with some sort of actions. Otherwise, it will just remain an intention. Thank you. We are streaming live, by the way. You can connect with us via our Facebook page, and you just go Unity Radio FM TV Jaws. Drop your comments, and we'll get to read them when the time comes. Today's edition, we call it Focus, right? And Focus has resumed. And today, we've been monitored by a special guest, been mentioned already by Professor Paveno Hetsubamayi, Dr. Katie Clemens, and she's monitoring all the way from Kigali, Rwanda. And later on, after the first 30 minutes of this program, she will be joining us, and we get to hear from her as we look forward to talking about the lessons from the Rwandan genocide. Again, monitoring from France is Dr. Otto. He's monitoring all the way from France, and he too will be speaking with us on this program during the second segment of this very program. But before then, let's just begin and look at issues as we have them trending. Okay, review segment of it, and just on to my left.
Let's start from home. Could be over the weekend. Unfortunately, we are starting with bad news again because the news has been trending and has refused to go away about the killings that took place in Bokos and Mangu local government areas. Specifically, these killings took place in Mandung and Kopnanle villages in Bokos and Mangu local government areas, respectively, on Friday night. At least 10 people lost their lives. And this attack was said to have been carried out by herders, as usual. Some people will say unknown gunmen. These attackers, attacked these two villages and left in their trail bloodshed, destruction of property. What amazes me, Kulbi and viewers and listeners, is that these two villages we're talking about, they are not far away from a military base. In fact, you will recall that His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu had approved that a military establishment, military battalion, should be established in Bokos local government area, at least to be closer to Mangu, closer to Barikinladi, Riom, and these places that are constantly under attack by herdsmen. But over the weekend, Friday night into Saturday, about 50 marauders attacked these two villages and killed children and women, especially, and escaped. Not one of them, not a single one of them was arrested. By the time our security forces arrived, as usual, these marauders, these attackers have already left, these villages. So you begin to wonder, are we going from bad to worse? What is happening to our security? Remember, on this platform, I said that, look, what the government is doing, they're just, putting artificial measures, of security. They have not restored peace because there is no healing, no forgiveness, no reconciliation taking place. So they're just enforcing security superficially, stop the fighting, but the reason why the people are fighting is still there. And I predicted on this platform that we will still hear of more attacks. And I'm still predicting again, I'm not a prophet of doom, but just look at the scenario, just look at the indices. There will still be more attacks, unfortunately. Why? Because we are not doing what we're supposed to do. We're not doing the right thing. We're just scratching the surface. You want to destroy a tree and you're just cutting the branches, you're just wasting your time. You have to remove the tree from its roots. Otherwise, it will keep growing again and again. And that is what we're avoiding doing. Removing the root cause of the problem. That's why we're constantly having these attacks. And you know that our security forces, we have them around, but why is it that there can be early warnings, but no early response? Shortly before this attack, there was a warning that there is likely to be an attack. In fact, a group even went to report that it is the villagers that were planning to attack herdsmen. And then the villagers said, no, we are not planning any attack against the herdsmen. And just within 2-3 days, the herdsmen attacked the villagers. I mean, when these things were happening, it was enough warning that an attack was imminent. But our security forces did little or nothing to avert this attack. And this is what we're saying. That for us to have lasting peace and security on the plateau, we need to sit down at the table of brotherhood and discuss what exactly is the problem, the root cause of the problem. Let's address it once and for all. Otherwise, if you just release the army, they go there and kill the people and force them to stop fighting, what are you going to do a few months after? The people will resume fighting again because you have not done rehabilitation, reconciliation, healing has not taken place, forgiveness has not taken place. That's why I'm happy that today we'll be talking about lessons from the Rwandan genocide, so that we'll know how Rwanda ended her genocide, why they are not fighting up to today. So this is very important, and we must address the root cause of the problem if we're going to have lasting peace and security on the plateau.
Prof, actually the issue and the saying that herdsman hurts man, I think, don't you think it's time for us to actually say, call it by what it supposedly should be addressed? Like when you say herdsman, it's like we have everyone, being involved and having some cattle and to just take care around. But herdsmen, what exactly? These are faceless people. When attack is meted on people, you hear to say herdsmen. Whom are these herdsmen? Now, is it not time for us to actually fish out criminals and then address them as criminals, and instead of some of this saying herdsmen? And what do you think about this very name, tag?
Because they dress like herdsmen. So the people who see them will always call them herdsmen. Because of the way they appear. To quote the chairman of BOCOS, Cultural Development Council, Farmers from Fudan, who confirmed these killings on Saturday, they said that the people they saw are Fulani herdsmen terrorists.
They say.
That is according to the chairman of BOCOS community, and this has been consistent because Benue has just had a similar attack in their communities in Benue State.
Okay,
and so you see this so-called Fulani herdsmen because the people say they speak Fulfulde. This is according to the eyewitnesses, of these attacks. So what we're supposed to do is unmask these men, arrest them, grab them, and let them tell us what is their problem, what is their agenda, why these consistent attacks again and again, because they're armed. They're not coming with sticks. The Fulani we know that move about with cattle carry sticks. The Fulanis have known since I was a child that we relate with, that we see in our communities move about with a stick and maybe with a little keg of water. They're the ones we know. These ones carrying AK-47, who are they? Where are they from?
Now, that is the angle of thought I'm trying to bring on this conversation, because it's giving a whole name to the entire community of the Fulanis, and which, of course, I wouldn't want us to continue mentioning names to any particular ethnic nationalities here. But then, because that's what it is out there, actually. So, but then, when these criminals, carry out their actions, and then it is said in such a way that it then goes and it's spread out like it is to every man and that is a Fulani man, and which of course is profiling, and which is what we don't.
Yeah, which is wrong. It's not. It is not the Fulani people that are attacking.
Yes.
I mean, our friends are Fulanis. We have them all over. We have neighbors who are Fulanis. Some of us have some Fulani blood here and there and all that, and we interact every day. But we're talking about these people who dress like herdsmen. That's why the newsmen always refer to them as herdsmen. That's why the victims and witnesses always say herdsmen, because they see them dress, appear like herdsmen, carrying AK-47.
And just anybody can speak Fulfulde.
Some of us can speak Hausa today, not because we are Hausas. Some of us can speak Fulfulde. So probably we leave it the way the news people keep calling them herdsmen. But when you go to the communities and ask them who attack you, they try to be more specific. But these people all over are referred to as herdsmen, whether they're in the southeast or the southwest, in the middle belt, northeast, northwest, wherever they're carrying out these attacks. they are always referred to by newsmen as herdsmen, herdsmen, herdsmen.
For an individual, I think it's time we begin to look at how to change. Because if I want to do a business,
this is where our security forces need to unmask. Who are these herdsmen? These attacks have been going on for years. Grab them. Tell us, where are you from? If you're herdsmen of what? You know, where are you coming from? Are you Nigerians? Are you from Niger or Mali or Burkina Faso or where? Why are you constantly attacking our people? The same herdsmen in the southeast, the same herdsmen in the southwest, the same herdsmen in the north central, in the northeast, in the northwest, all over the country, in Abuja, herdsmen everywhere. Who are these herdsmen? That is what we need to unravel. We need to, solve this mystery of who the herdsmen are. Let's know exactly who they are. And that is why I have a grounds with our security forces. Arrest them, bring them, let's know exactly who they are and what is it that they want. Because the normal Fulani herdsmen I see moving around, I interact. The other day I was talking with some of them with their cattle. They were holding only stick, and we're having a good time around Basa. I was saying, where are you coming from and where are you going, and will you stay for some time around this community? I was talking with them in Basa local government area. They were not carrying any weapon, and there were 1, 2, 3 or more of them. But who are these ones with AK-47?
Endangering the lives of the generality of
that we need to deal with, because they're endangering the lives of the normal Fulani herdsmen that we know that are only carrying stick. These ones with AK-47 are endangering their lives. They're endangering the lives of the host communities, indigenous people that are farming. They're endangering the lives of the average Nigerian that is walking on the road. They're endangering everybody's life, because with the AK-47 they also kidnap, they also rape, they also kill, they also do all manner of atrocities.
All right, Prof, I think I will just look to the side of Barrister Paul Zaruma, and he has an issue, and I'm sure that will not be far from, because he's one unbiased political analyst, if you permit me, Barrister.
Yes, I think concerning the security issue in Plateau State, Prof has adequately mentioned some of the things. I just want to lend my voice to the fact that we will not stereotype any tribe or stereotype any business or profile, ethnic profiling, because for instance, if you talk about herdmen, keeping herd is a business.
It's a business.
Right? Now, it's not everybody that keep herds that involved in such atrocities.
That's right.
Yeah, like for instance, I was in Barkiladi recently. I saw a lot of Birom herdsmen.
Yes.
Particularly, I was in around Fan District. So Fan District, they keep a lot of cows. They have a lot of herdsmen. So if you say herdsmen,
then you're profiling them.
You are profiling that business of keeping herd. And I have a friend also in Basa, Mr. James. He also keep herds. So profiling of a business or profiling of a tribe will not also solve the problem. The narrative is not. It's a kind of adding to the issue. So I think our intelligent community should unravel those criminals. Killers are criminals.
Killers are criminals.
So our intelligence, and I like the position of Prof when he mentioned that there are early warning signals. Yes, there was a letter even from the DSS to Plateau State Commissioner of Police telling him that there is going to be a likely Christmas attack reprisal during the Salah. And then, shortly after the Salah, behold, there was an attack. So what do they do with that intelligent information? You could see a lot of loopholes in the utilization of intelligence gathered. And that is why you see so many citizens are reluctant to give credible, intelligent information. And you know, when you go to some other countries, I said it here someday, one time, that instead of us to infiltrate the criminal with our intelligence prowess, rather it is the other way around. It is the criminals that are now infiltrating our security. So our security need to do more on that. I also want to use this opportunity to highlight some of the headlines that we may not be able to discuss, but for the purpose of highlighting, and then we will pick up one or two. I am being mindful of time. So you can see testimony backlash. Dunamis apologizes as Abuja testifier meets Enenche and wife. Over 1,000 kidnapped victims so far rescued without ransom, federal government. 50,901 drug offenders arrested. 9,034 convicted in 3 years NDLEA. You know, I told you last time that one of the most enviable agency in Nigeria is the NDLEA. You can see the number of convicts, 9,034 convictions. You know, it is not about the arrests. What did you make of the arrests? Like we said, some of these criminals that are attacking, if you arrest them, you convict them. And I said, if not just arresting them and detaining them and violating their right. Our security are fond of arresting criminals. Well, they are doing well, they are doing their part, but they need to improve because they are in fond of arresting criminals, keeping those criminals arbitrarily without taking them to court. Those cases that are supposed to be taken to police will not be taken to police, and they will keep them arbitrarily, and then at the end of the day, nothing comes out of it. And even if you want to file a criminal case against such criminals, they have a counter case against you for violating their right. The Constitution is very clear. It said you should take them to court within 24 hours. If it is in a city like Jos, if it is in a place where courts are accessible. And then where courts are not accessible, they should be taken to court within 48 hours. So, of course, there is no part of Plateau State that you cannot take someone to court within 48 hours. And then, if investigation is not completed, there is also a room that the court can give order for further detention to enable you complete your investigation. But by the time you keep somebody 8 months, 2 years in detention, what are you investigating? And by the time you take this person to the court, then this person also had a counterclaim against you. The counterclaim may not be a direct counterclaim in the maybe by way of a criminal cross action. It may be a counterclaim by way of fundamental right enforcement, because detaining somebody, whether he is caught red-handed with 2 years without taking him to court, is an offense under Nigerian law. So you now see where even the security personnel are compounding some of these things. And I give kudos to the NDLA for this achievement. Then NIMC, 2,000 million NIN enrollment in 2025. Who is them well? Military dismisses claim of shooting civilians in Plateau State. That's from the military's angle. Yoruba Nation, Makinde hails military. Reps condemn agitators. Junior Pope, remains of late makeup artist buried in Akwai. We have talked about that one. Shuaibu being persuaded to draw petition against Edo CJ. Cancel. State police. Police law amendment may take 2 years. Soldiers in custody for allegedly stabbing motorcyclists in Lagos bar. I think from there we can take some of the major items.
Okay, and then I think, Prof, we'll have to come back to wind down on this issue. Barrister just raised a very fundamental issue here. Again, it's for you to keep cattle, and you heard that too is a business.
Yes, it is.
It's a business. And so just anybody can, invest in that.
Absolutely.
So, but when you have, but when you say herders, already you have a business that is profiled, also, I don't know how to call it there, but that is it's put in such a way that once you join that business, you are tend to be one of those criminals who would often
That's the
attack.
problem with profiling. Every ethnic group has herders. We have herdsmen in almost every ethnic group. Once you keep cattle, you know, you're a herder, you know, as you take them to graze, you know, and all that. So I think the challenge is to get what nomenclature to use
to refer to these
to
criminals.
refer to these people.
Yes.
You know, some people say they are unknown gunmen.
It started from
You know,
unknown
so
gunmen.
to be on the safer side, unknown gunmen. Then some people say, no, they cannot be unknown. Why are they unknown? We know them. You know? So they said, all right, they look like herdsmen. They are herdsmen.
And
You
from
know,
there.
some say, okay, we heard them speaking a particular language. They must belong to this ethnic group. But like you said, some of us speak 1, 2, 3 or more languages, you know. One of my colleagues speaks about 5 to 7 languages. Another one speaks even more than 10 different languages. So where are you going to place him, you know? Will you say he's Yoruba, he's Igbo, he's Hausa, he's Fulani, he's Birom, because he speaks all these languages, you know. So that is, I think, the challenge of nomenclature. For us, on this platform, let's call these people who they are. They are criminals.
They are criminals.
These are criminals, bloodthirsty criminals that go about attacking people. When you attack and kill people, you are a criminal.
You are
And
a criminal.
these criminals, we need to get them. We need to neutralize them. If they're not ready to stop, I mean, security forces should be battle ready, you know, to neutralize these criminals anytime they come. Because we have just too many attacks on our communities. Farming season is at hand, and some people are afraid to go to the farm. I was talking with somebody, and the person said, well, we don't know whether we are going to farm. Is there security to protect our lives? Last year, this happened to us. We lost some people, you know, and even lost a lot of a harvest. You know, so that is why we've said on this platform, number one issue the Plateau State government must address is the matter of security. Because every other thing falls or rises with security in the state. Is it business? Security. Education? Security. Health? Security. Everything you want to do? Security. If lives are not secured, I mean, are we going to be here in the studio today? If we're coming out and maybe there is fighting, we will return back. So security is very key, is very important, and something must be done about security.
Yes, of course. And still on that, you have Mr. Alhaji Salis Abdusalam. The last time he was here, when we were having the issues of lessons from the Rwandan genocide, he made mentions of 3 R's, and he says retaliation, revenge, and reprisal. This has been the issue, and there was another R, 2 R's, you know, rehabilitation and reconciliation. So you see, so instead of this, the first 3 R's, why don't we have
the last two?
The last 2,
reconciliation, rehabilitation.
and rehabilitation.
Very important.
Very important.
And that's what Rwanda did. Rehabilitate, reconcile people. Reconciliation involves forgiveness, and then there will be healing. Healing will take place.
I can't wait actually to hear from Dr. Katie and also Dr. Otto about forgiveness. The very people who killed my brother, and today we're living together. And yes, knowing fully well that he was involved in this.
Yes.
I can't wait for us to actually get this
Could be, let's draw the attention of viewers and listeners that the federal government has issued. We're talking about early warning signs that there will be flood in 31 states of the Federation, including our dear Plateau. And this flood is going to affect up to 148 local government areas in the country. And the federal government has sent, apart from telling these states, an official letter has been written to these 31 states to prepare for flood between now and November 2024. So viewers and listeners, prepare for flood. We know that we keep having flood every year around, and people take it for granted, and they just relax. The other day we were driving within the city, and so people have built houses on waterways. They have a business there, you know, in a place that I know that every rainy season water passes there. Now, what are those people asking for? They're asking for disaster. They're asking for flood disaster. So, any warning signals, now the warning has gone out. Prepare. What is our preparedness plan? because the rains are coming and there will be flood in 31 states, 148 local government areas, including Plateau State. Please stay clear of waterways. Don't build a house along waterways. And then those drainages that are blocked, that we're looking at them now. When the drainages are blocked and water is coming and water cannot find a place to pass, the water will create its own passage.
Definitely.
And definitely pass. So we need to do something and prepare well ahead of time, so that during the middle of the year or towards the end of the year, we don't come and start, crying about natural disasters and blame the rain and blame the government. Now is the time to prepare against floods.
Again, thank you so much, Prof, for taking our attention to that. We have in Jos City here, we know that too has dealt with us over the years, and I know of Apata community and some areas around Jos North, Ngorogo. So also, please, let's do the needful. And National Orientation Agency, I think it's time. Let's see how we can do some jingles in our native languages, and that too will help along with. Thank you so much. It's time for us to go on a short break, because we'll be coming back and we get talking about lessons from the Rwandan genocide. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
Please pay attention. It starts from the foundation. Everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs some love. You turn a blind eye and care nothing less. Say it's just business, all about the money. You are so unbothered as long as they pay. Say it's just business, all about the money. You know they're on a fast lane, but you've got business to run. So you look away the other way. It concerns you. It a kill law, it a kill dreams. It a land people for jail. War against drug abuse.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? You've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was Mr. Politician? It's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here.
Thank you so much for staying tuned with us on Unity 93.3 FM Unity TV. From the hills of ZINARIYA in just North Plateau State, Nigeria, we are reaching you live. It's Unity Train actually. This is the second segment of Unity Train, and we would have 30 minutes in it, and then the last 30 minutes will be time for a listener and viewer to also join the conversations. And this morning, being the 17th day in the month of April, the year 2024, actually, we are to be joined in by Dr. Katie Clemens Uwase. She is actually, will be speaking with us from Kigali, Rwanda. And she's on actually right now. And I'll just let Professor Poveno H. Bamei to take us on a ride as we get to engage Dr. Katie right now.
All right, thank you very much, Kulbi. Dr. Katie is joining from Kigali, Rwanda. We use a WhatsApp. Dr. Katie?
Hello?
Yes, you're on air, on radio and TV. Tell us about the Rwandan genocide. What lessons you think we can learn from the genocide? It's over to you. Go ahead and talk now. We are listening.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Thank you.
I'm called Dr. Uwase Clemens Katie.
Please go on.
Good morning, doctor.
I'm a doctor in Rwanda.
All right.
You've asked me to talk about the Rwandan genocide.
Yes.
Every time when we are talking about the Rwandan genocide, as Rwandese, it was a very tragic history. It was really a bad time and a bad moment for all of us. I was not born during that time. I was born like few years after. But that's my genocide. They are actually survivors. Because all of them during that period, they were around. They were in Rwanda during that time.
Okay.
That's with a brief history of how. Hello.
So are you there?
Continue. We're hearing you.
Okay, I want to start with the. Okay, I want to start with the brief history of how the genocide started. Normally, it didn't start. Yes, the act started on the 7th April 1994, but the preparation started earlier. It started, there are some wars that started earlier than that, and
Okay.
and the belligerent. So the belligerent.
Okay, the network is not supporting, right?
Yeah, I think the network is having a challenge.
Right. Well,
they divide the country and then take over. So in that way, when they were penetrating Rwanda, it was very hard. So they used a way of dividing, and so that they can be able to rule and take over the country. And that's because Rwanda before we were divided in three. I can say letters. Others were cattle keepers, and the other one they were potters. They used to make pots. So those whites, they called them Hutus. Then the Kato Kipis. Then the potters, they called them the Twa. And those Twa, they were very few. Like the Michicans.
Okay.
Bringing divisionism, as I told you, to dividing so that they can be able to
Okay.
looking for the differences. What are the differences between those Hutus and Twas? And they realized that very narrow, like their nose was very narrow, and the big one for Tutsi was wider. They based on their appearance, they would look at the heads. Some had the longer head, others had the smaller one. Then,
Hello, Dr. Katie.
Doctor.
Hello, Dr. Katie.
hello.
Dr.
They
Katie.
also looked at the
Dr. Katie, let me pause.
Hi,
a bit.
sir.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Dr. Katie? Let me pause you a
Hi.
bit. Can you?
Yes, I'm hearing.
Yeah, please try to join on.
Are you hearing me?
Zoom. Join on Zoom. Maybe it will be better. The WhatsApp is breaking. Try to join the Zoom. Let me see whether it will be better. Because the WhatsApp call is breaking. Thank you. I can add a little bit to what she's saying. Most of us know Hutus and Tutsis. But there is another group, the Twas. Very few of them. They're like cattle rearers predominantly, and all this. So these are the three major ethnic groups in Rwanda that she's talking about: the Hutus, the Tutsis, the Twas. The Hutus are the majority, while the Tutsis are very educated, highly skilled. The Twas are countryside people, and they have a way of identifying these three major ethnic groups, by their facial appearances. So the genocide started, the preparation was since 1959 actually. 1959 they started preparing for what later happened from 7th April 1994 to about 7th April to 7th July 1994, a period of about 100 days. So this hate was inbuilt, among the Hutus, the Tutsis. It was predominantly a hate put inside the Hutus against, the Tutsis. And so because of this, we have these things taking place. So she has joined on, maybe we'll just try and see whether this will sound a bit better. Hello, Dr. Katie. And then, well, maybe while we're waiting to hear from Dr. Katie, one of the most important lessons we can learn from the Rwandan genocide is the lesson of forgiveness.
Very important.
It's very important that we forgive.
Yes.
If we want to move forward on the plateau or in Nigeria, ethnic groups, we have to forgive.
Yes.
It's very important.
Yes, Prof, again, Dr. Katie mentioned of, there were, like you also submitted to, preparations to the actual event.
Yes.
Started long
So there
ago.
were early warning signals that were not followed.
The hatred started, the messages to lead ones to hate the other started long ago.
Long ago.
And so, and that is why, again, we don't want some names that in some way seems to, bring some particular ethnic nationality as if they are, to be hated, and that they are not to be tolerated. These are some of the things we try to. And then she also made mentions of divide and rule.
Yes.
So the people were actually, led to have a division amongst them.
Amongst themselves, yes, absolutely.
So you have people whom are born in when these messages were already on. And so they grow up to know that this ethnic nationality should be hated and should not be allowed to be part of the society and whatnot. And so,
let me call Dr. Otto, meanwhile, so we can get some comment from him. He was born during the genocide.
Oh, I see.
Yet he was born after.
After, yes. And the impact.
Yes. Hello, Dr. Otto?
Hello.
Yes, can we have you? Can we have you say something? Okay. All right. So please go ahead.
Bluetooth mode. Bluetooth connecting. Please wait.
The Rwandan genocide.
Bluetooth connected successfully.
What happened? What was the cause of the genocide? And some lessons you feel we can learn as Nigerians from the Rwandan genocide.
Thank you very much. This is a very, very...
Bluetooth disconnected. Bluetooth connecting. Please wait. Bluetooth connected successfully.
The fall was not an accident, at least for us Rwandans who know that. It is a result of a long installed division ideology. You hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, go ahead.
Long division ideology.
Okay.
This ideology came first during the colonial period, when the colonialists came and just started to divide the Rwandans, saying this guy is high in head, is 1 meter, 1.8 meters, another one is short, 1.3 meters. So he tried to found division criteria that would divide Rwandans the way he wanted to see it. And that was simple, what we call divide and rule. He wanted just to divide Rwandans here and say, oh, this country is a majority, people are short, etc. The minority are high. That was just the fact, the way he saw it. He divided the country. That was in a fight around the king of Rwanda, and just started to divide between rich, poor. The culture of Rwandans was based on that time on cow keeping. So the man who was more than 5 cows was rich, and the one who was with no cow was poor. You cannot have cow but have something else.
Okay.
Land, etc.
Okay.
So he divided the community in a number of, using a number of criteria, a number of groups, and they started to tell these are taking, are dominating you, etc. That was just the origin in the colonial period.
Okay. Doctor.
The colonialists found a way to divide the country, and after the independence, the colonialists continued to rule Rwanda through Rwandans, of course.
Okay.
And they created a bad politics that was really entertained for like 20 years, enhancing the divisions that was in the population. So now the genocide had to come as a result of this type of division that was there for at least 20-25 years.
Okay. Okay, Doctor, can you hear me?
I can hear you well.
Oh, very good. Can you tell us the role that the media played in bringing about that Rwanda genocide? The role that the media played?
Well, you will hear a radio that was called the Radio Milcolin. It was a very popular radio that was used by the genociders, the perpetrators, to populate their actions, even to hunt. You know, they used the radio to hunt victims, saying, "Oh, you guys, you are not seeing this person is hiding in the bush, is hiding there." So the media was playing a very, very crucial and very critical role, bad role in the genocide, because there was you have heard about the ICTR. It was just a court that pursued a number of journalists of that period. So media was really, in Rwanda that time, there was no social media. They used the radio.
Okay,
and
yes.
I'm telling you, each Rwandan can hear radio for 6 hours a day, depending on what is in the radio. So
yes,
the genociders, the perpetrators of the genocide against the Tutsi, they used the radio to remove fear to those who hesitated, you know, to motivate them.
Yes.
Those who was hesitating to be involved in the genocide was motivated by the radio, the radio journalists. So if people don't pay attention to the media, they can even tune the situation and transform it in
okay.
Something that is very current. You see, even those who are denying today the genocide, they are using media.
Okay.
So media are very critical in each ideology propagation.
Okay, Dr. Otto, please. I know very well that you have visited Nigeria, and if I think by now we should give you some chieftaincy title. So, what do you think that Nigerians can learn from the Rwandan genocide?
You know, the Rwandan genocide was an event that was really, really, as we cannot know higher than that.
Okay.
I don't know very well Nigeria, but I have visited some areas, of course, in the south, in the north central. I think each of the people should actually take lesson from there. One, the first lesson that we can take, all of us, even us who has been going through this, is to avoid the community division, to entertain this kind of divisionism ideology, you know. My country, Nigeria, is more than 200 communities, isn't it?
Yes.
So we should avoid ideology of division.
Ideology of division.
Something that is very bad. And it is destroying quickly, you know.
Yes.
Rumors, people are saying, this happened, this happened. You put it in the radio, you go to the media, you speak, you have not even verified. You start to say, oh, this happened there. People are doing this, people are doing this mass propagation and propaganda based on wrong ideology should destroy any community and should restore a kind of divisionism between people.
Yes.
If you are lucky, you don't have it. You need to avoid it.
All right.
But if you have some signs of it, people should also put together the effort to avoid it and remove it in the community.
Okay.
Because one community against another community is already a civil war in the country. So that's something that I can maybe notice, since we have a number of communities that could probably have differences. The tolerance, second, the tolerance is important.
Yes, tolerance.
The resilience. Even when you have any problem, if there is any issue that happens within the community, the resilience of the component of the community should be the choice for everyone. Not for those who are victims, not for those who are perpetrators. Rwanda, in fact, it is remarkable that survivors and perpetrators in Rwanda, they have chosen.
All right.
They are obliged, they have chosen to come together.
All right.
To rebuild a new country, a new Rwanda. Talk about the past. It's about the whole commemoration of the genocide. We remember. Talk about the past. But we slowly accepted and we have chosen to rebuild new lives in Rwanda by being together. Being resilient together.
All right.
That's why actually you see the country is quickly developing because no one is still having. We have chosen to build together the country. Although we have to remember the victims. We have to develop a memory of and symbols of those who are been killed. We have selected to support the survivors for their resilience. But the unity on one hand is the paramount. We have selected to be together to renew the country.
All right.
This is a choice.
Okay.
It doesn't come. It's a choice of Rwandans to look to the future together. And I think I'm very proud of my country, Nigeria, you know.
Okay.
When you talk about Nigeria, every Nigerian feel Nigeria.
Wow.
Nigeria, you know. That is very important.
Okay.
That is the unity. It's traditional there. You don't say I'm coming from the north. When you're outside, you say I'm Nigerian.
That's it.
Even myself, I can say I'm Nigerian. They will believe me.
Yes.
Because this proudness of the country is the most important. However, it has to be sustained by a kind of motivation. People should probably avoid the testimonies that will divide people who should choose to survive together.
Yes.
To build the resilience.
All right.
And avoid all the divisions, ideology.
All right.
I like the retired Eminent Samuel Alade. He was an observer, a military observer in Rwanda.
Okay.
And after 30 years, he's still remembering this. And when he talked to us, we discussed, he said, oh, I like the way the country has had a choice to live, to survive together. Even those who are not victims, they have survived from an event.
Yes.
You know?
Thank you.
This is a choice that everyone should make together today.
Okay, doctor. All right, I'm sure if we give you 30 more minutes, you will still have a lot to tell us. But what will be your final word, because we have just but a few more minutes to go on this segment, please.
Okay, I want to use this opportunity to thank all Nigerians for the remembrance of the genocide against Tutsi in Rwanda, and also supporting us as an Africans. And I want to also say that this is something that happened to Rwanda, which everyone should avoid. It should never again happen on the continent or everywhere, anywhere in the world. Today I work for the UN. That is what the UN is talking. We are talking about never again having such an event. Although we are seeing similar signs in some part of the world because of the war, but this is also a result of the divisions between people. So we should all work together to avoid that this happens.
Thank you.
Again in the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much for speaking with us all the way from France, Doctor.
Yes, it's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. God bless you. All right, Prof.
Yeah, Dr. Otto has spoken a lot, and so has Dr. Keti from Kigali. Both of them are Rwandans of different generations. Dr. Otto was born before the Rwandan genocide, so he experienced it. He has a first-hand experience of the Rwandan genocide. Dr. Katie was born just a few years after the genocide.
Okay.
So her family was affected because she lost members of her family, including her mom, during the genocide. So, but they're giving us a fantastic perspective of how Rwanda recovered from this genocide. So, and we have a lot to learn.
All right, thank you, Prof. We'll come back to that after this short time out. Please stay tuned. We'll be back after this break, please.
You had me thinking, Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your...
Get ready to be entertained and inspired by the incredible stories around the globe. Don't miss out on the excitement. Hello at Work is an ultimate TV program that brings to you the interesting stories and daily happenings worldwide. Join us Mondays and Thursdays 10 a.m. as we dive into the daily happenings and stories. Tune in and stay. Say hello to the world as you bring in your ideas, as it is a perfect blend of entertainment and information. Get ready to stay up to date while being entertained.
Are you bored and need some company? Get a TV experience like no other on Unity TV. We are turning up the hits with captivating TV shows, electrifying political programs, music, movies, and lots more that will leave you craving. I'm sure you want to know more. Tune into Unity TV today and let the excitement take over.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call 0700 225 5226, 0800 225 5226, or +234 817 665 6273. Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've
Thank you so much. Permit me to say thank you so much for always being there with us. And this is Unity Trend on Unity 93.3 FM, Unity TV. And this is the last segment of Unity Trend this morning. And so it's about time for you to join the conversation. In the studio, it has been Barrister Paul Zaruma, just based legal practitioner, unbiased political commentator and analyst, if you would allow me, and also Professor Proveno H. Bamayi. And we have heard from Dr. Katie and Dr. Otu, Rwandans there, telling us about their experience and what they feel about Rwandan. And for us in this country, lessons to learn. Yes, it's time for you to join, and remember we're streaming live on Facebook, Unity Radio FM/TV Jos. Now, the studio line is booting, and you may want to be a part of it. 07032353315 is the studio line, and if you call, just tell me your name and locations. You go straight up in a minute. Let's have your submissions. And so, remember also that comments made on this platform and not in any way the position of Unity 93.3 FM and Unity TV. And again, stay away from comments and statements that are capable of, undermine and the integrity of an individual or group of individuals. And so that is what we'll do this morning. And earlier on, we were talking about, we got to hear from Dr. Katie and Dr. Autumn. They have established that there was that the ideology of division, where before even the Rwandan genocide began, there was what they describe as preparations to eat. And again, you need to stay away. I think there are lessons. We can even begin to discuss this here, Prof. Stay away from whatever will bring division amongst
division, disunity. And this is what we keep talking about on the plateau. Why are we divided? Division leads to anarchy. It leads to bloodshed. It leads to violence. When you are not united, there is a saying that united we stand, divided we fall. If we're divided, we're certain to fall. There won't be progress. And that's why we've been saying, let's unite. Whether you're Birom, you're Angas, does that matter? You're Ron, you're Tarog, you're whatever ethnic group. Let's come together and build one plateau, build one Nigeria. First and foremost, all of us are human beings. So why should we be divided, And this hatred, inbuilt hatred, you hate a particular ethnic group, you hate a particular people, hate a particular religion, and all that. It doesn't help. It only destroys. And these are things that we should avoid. This is what led to the Rwandan genocide.
Yes.
Because this division was implanted for a long time, for many years, hatred for years, propaganda, all manner of lies, and all manner of things were going on for many years. And the people, were piling up all manner of resentment in them against a particular ethnic group. And when the time was ripe, they just unleashed the hatred that was already in them over the years.
Remember, they said the role that the media played, very big one there.
Yes. The media projected hatred. The media projected
stereotyping.
Stereotyping, ethnic profiling. The media go to the extreme extent of even identify certain individuals. I think I watch sometimes in April. I also watch Hotel Rwanda. A lot of lessons there. To the extent someone from the media house was calling the Tutsis cockroaches. He was calling them Inyanzis. And I know Inyanzis is a kind of derogatory name, And then all over the world, you cannot talk about genocide without talking about one of the major remote causes is ethnic supremacy. When another ethnic group is feeling I am superior to this ethnic group. And we really have to face the reality of ethnic supremacy. If because I am Anaguta, I look at myself as I'm superior to a Hausa man, it's a problem.
It's a problem.
Or a Hausa man is looking at me, or because I'm a Christian, I'm looking at a Muslim as if I'm superior to him. It's a problem.
In some certain geographical location.
So religious supremacy, ethnic supremacy, political supremacy, and then so these are also remote causes. If you go to the history of genocide across the globe, you will see that one of the remote causes of genocide is that supremacist mentality. So we have to really work on that. I can marry your daughter, but you cannot allow me to marry your daughter. This is ethnic supremacy. So these are things that we really need to work on as a company, as a country, if we really need to assimilate.
All right. We have a caller here. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Kubi.
Thank you.
And I want you guys in the studio. Calling from Angorogo.
Thank you for staying tuned and for calling. You have a minute.
Very good to be listening to Voice of Reason.
Thank you. You're welcome.
I think whether we like it or not, there are so many lessons we need to learn, as we particularly in Nigeria. It's very, very unfortunate when leaders who are in leadership and have nothing to provide as leaders. You see, when Prof brought his colleague here from Congo, he narrated how they were able to separate the problem between the farmers and traders.
Yes.
Do you need to go to America to learn what is happening? You have them in Nigeria. But are you really ready to implement it? Here, Plateau State, we are talking about 22 years now of conflict. Southern Katsina is talking about 40 something years of conflict. what we are saying. Whether we like it, do you think that the founding father that created the national grazing route, state grazing route, and local government grazing route, do you think they don't know what they are doing? We should not think of who to assist and not who not to assist. That is why I keep on telling you. The ASCO program stream, 10 trillion naira that has been budgeted and spread politically. Tell me what single grading route that has been, that money has been done. It's that things we are talking about. Not giving Nigeria fertilizer. Yes. You need to go into all these villages and know what people are facing and how to solve their problem. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much. Now, national grazing routes. Now you have this big issue. How many farmers know that there is anything existing as grazing route?
And that's the problem.
You know?
Because these laws were gazetted. The grazing routes laws is gazetted, designated. The government agencies, relevant ones, they know. But the farmers don't even know.
Yes.
And most Nigerians don't know, because these are things that are from the 1960s to date. Over time, because of a lack of information, people don't even know that there are things like this.
Yes.
And because of this, we're having a lot of these problems. That's why the National Orientation Agency needs to wake up. Because they are not giving Nigerians information. Information should be something you give to Nigerians on daily basis. But they are not doing their work, you know. If I ask you, who is the Director General of the Nigerian Orientation Agency? Tell me, what is his name?
You have to get, you need to do some research.
See the problem?
Yes, so we have a caller here,
Because they are
Prof.
not doing their work.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, could be the Prof in the house and the doctors are called from Rwanda.
Yes, thank you.
Doctor and Prof, have you eaten, please?
Yes, please, thank you.
Your name?
This is Yakubu Sali calling from Nepazariano.
Yes, I hope you had a wonderful Salah. You're welcome.
Yes, honestly, could be. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Amen.
You have said it all, even without people calling and commenting. Honestly, you have said it all. The issue of mentioning a particular tribe and just taking them as criminals is wrong. In any tribe, we have the good, the bad, and the terrible. So the three should be the criminals.
Criminal is a criminal.
And these criminals, where are they getting their weapons from? We have the police, we have soldiers, we have DSS. And my problem is sometimes, even when DSS gives information, nothing is being done about it. Look at what happened in Kuje, look at what happened in Kaduna and Abuja Road. So we don't have proactive measures. When the destruction is being done, before we start, carrying Nigerian money, putting the money there, doing the wrong thing at the wrong time, not even the right thing at the wrong time.
Thank you, Yakubu Saleh.
Please, there is something that happened almost 3 years ago here in Holaza.
Okay.
Some people that listen to me, they know that, yes.
Okay.
Yes, by then I was riding Okada. So when we finished, we were just taking our tea, and some people were about to take their indomie. We had a gunshot. So we thought it was a knockout. Not knowing that some armed robbers entered the place. So they entered the shop, they robbed. We even lie down under the table. Nobody asked us to even lie down because we had gunshots. So the owner of the shop, when he just went out, they asked him to lie down. They slapped him, they robbed him. When he came back, he said, "Hi, stand up. They have gone. They have Fulani people." Because I saw them with cover shoe, with Nova cover shoe. That is Awapa. So I took one policeman there. He said, "No, he can't believe it because here is town. Anybody that will just enter here and rob and go direct where he's taking a trading. That person must know. People, had it been in the village, yes, these are Fulani. But here, at least, maybe the people around that area,
all right,
they are the ones."
Yakubu.
Do you know what happened?
Tell me.
To cut the long story short, after 2 weeks, some people were just caught. They went to a government secondary school around that command. So they went to rob students, they were caught. So the people from this area, the same people were caught. And one person, because there's one Fulani guy, he told me he came in. When these people were caught, they discovered that the people, the armed robbers, belong to that particular tribe of the owner of the shop. So this man went and said, okay, when the armed robbers came, you mentioned, he said, Fulani men. People who were caught.
All right.
He didn't know your tribe. He just kept quiet. So what am I trying to say? Please, in any tribe we have bad people. We should address them as it could be said. address them as criminals. You should see them out. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much. We gave you all of that time because you started a narrative. If we cut you halfway, it will be half-baked information. And so thank you. Well, for DSS and other security agencies, you know, their work is mostly is not to come on air and tell you their strategies. And so they're doing their best, especially the recent one we have, is it Mangu? I learned also from Barrister this morning that, you know, intelligent gathering was released to also help to inform from DSS. It means they are doing their work. So please, hello, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Thank you. Your name?
My name is Chief Ekeoku from Barut.
Thank you for calling. You have a minute, please.
Yes, sir. I want to thank off all this analysis.
You're welcome.
And you who is anchoring the program.
Thank
the
you.
issue of insecurity in Bakos, Barakin, Lati, and Mango. The thing is a very surprising thing. That we have all what we take. The headquarters of Special Safe Haven in Jos. Police are there. SS and the rest of security agents. And they cannot deploy security agents to that place to come the area. This is fight within ourselves yet. What if another country is attacking us? It means we are going to leave this country.
Okay.
So what am I saying? The truth is that if government wants the truth to be done, they should remove the hand of monkey from the soup.
I don't
remove the hand of monkey from the soup.
Well, I'm sure Prof will and Barrister will understand what you mean. Thank you. Anyway.
All right, sir.
Thank you. All right. There is no need to, you know, be there all out to profile any particular tribe. Once there is any criminal activity, the people are to be addressed as criminal and not to have anything to do with the tribe with which these people are from. Hello, good morning. Hello? All right, 07032353315. We have just but 2 or 3 or thereabout minutes to be out of the studio this morning. So please, if you want to be a part, I will appreciate 07032353315. Your name, location, and everything in a minute. Hello, good morning. Your name? Okay, I barely can hear you. We need to call us back. Prof, I think we will just begin to round up because of time. Talking about Yakubu Sali, you see, the media plays a vital role in changing the narrative. Most of the things you would hear radio stations will always talk about it is when there is the issue of killings. So, but if you don't talk about the issue of killings, nobody again seems to want to listen to you. So for us journalists, we are out to say what people, you know, is appealing to the people. Okay, so the people don't seem to want to hear anything about the good deeds in the country. So it's like they just want to hear how many people have been killed, who did what, and so on and so forth. And so the journalists, to some extent, are forced to look for such issues and always get to talk about it.
You know, bad news spreads very fast. It sells fast. It gets audience fast. When people want news on social media to go viral, they just get some bad news or just create a story before you know it. It's flying all over the world, you know. So because of that, you know, there's this tendency to always want to report what is evil, what is bad, what is violent, and to even exaggerate it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because when you exaggerate it, then wow,
more people.
You know, you have a lot of, you know, people coming, joining maybe a website, listening to a radio or TV station, you know, and all that, and then you become more and more popular, you know, that kind of a thing. But that is not good. The role of the media is to create stability, peace, unity amongst the people. That doesn't mean that the media should not report the truth. The media should report the truth, but it should be balanced. It should be objective. You know, don't have an analysis that is biased, that is one-sided. That's why you see on this platform, we talk about what the government is doing and what the government is not doing. We attack them when they're doing wrong. We praise them when they're doing right. We don't spare anybody. We try to balance, you know, where we need to balance, and we say it the way it is, so that people have a good, you know, picture. Speculations, we avoid them, because you can't establish, you can't prove. There have been some sensational news in the country. We've refused to report them on this platform because nobody has proved it. Nobody has any evidence that, you know, those kind of things happen. So the media has a lot of role.
And from our guests, Dr. Katie and also Otto, they also said rumor is one of the things that...
Yes.
So, Barrister, please.
Yes, rumor mongering has been a terrible thing, particularly in facilitating the spread of crisis and killings. I want to also look at the issue, particularly has some of the concerns, some troubling concerns that we raised with respect to response of our security to early warning signs. You know, it goes to a very fundamental issue, which I want to point at. Nigeria, if we do not check our recruitment process, we will keep on having this issue. If you go, you will see a lot of citizens who have passion to serve this country in checking some of these issues. But at the end of the day, they are not recruited because they don't have godfather, they don't have connection, they don't know anybody. At times, if you go to recruitment, those who will win in the screening exercise, maybe win those who are qualified, we are not taken because they don't have any godfather there. So, and you wonder if those people are not Nigerian citizens. And once, if we do not check our recruitment system, you could see people who are passionate to go and do this work. They will not be recruited. A lady just told me they went for this police exam someday. There were people who didn't write the exams, but their names came out. So how can we grow as a country when you have such people? And then again, there is this job racketeering. People selling job. When you sell custom job, you sell police job, you sell military job. How do you expect the person who joined the police through such process, or through joined the DSS through such process, to give you results? They cannot give results.
The person saying that those who didn't write, and now you begin to ask, what proof has she to say that those who didn't sit for the exams and their names are out?
This is a first-time person who bought form, who go through the screening and went to the exams. And then when their names were out, they said, oh, this person was bragging that I didn't sat for the exam and my name is out.
Okay.
So then they sat for the exams, their names were not out and they were sat. So this thing is happening on and on.
Like
the evidence are overwhelming.
Like some would say also, Prof, when someone wins, gets his scores, what is expected in a local examinations. They say, I have, gotten it in WAEC. But when he or she fails, he says, WAEC failed me.
Maybe sometimes it could be, sometimes it does happen like that. But if you have participated in some of our recruitment, process, there were times they will even shamelessly, boldly tell you that those who have letters should come this way. Can we have a very effective security when our recruitment process is faulty? We cannot, except if we will pay lip service to some of these things.
Yes.
We have to come up and tell ourselves the truth. As leaders, let us address this issue if we want to get it right in this country. Let's get the best of the best. I was reading a book by Ben Carson, Gifted Hand. In fact, when they were graduating, the defense agency of US were going through schools to pick the best graduating students to recruit them into the defense in order to have one of the best defense in America. The same thing, I'm reading a book, what do you call it, Son of Hamas, written by Hassan Mossad. Hassan Mossad in that book said he made mention of the process is really used in recruiting. They employ the same thing. At times, even if you feel maybe you don't have a vision to become a soldier in Israel, it is a punishable offense because they have seen some potentials in you. They have seen things that Israel as a country need in you, and you say, no, I don't want to be a soldier, or I don't want to be a police. They will punish you for saying I don't want to be a soldier. But in Nigeria, you will see a qualified person, somebody who is needed. In fact, it is the person, the force that need the person, not the person needing the force. But in such in our recruitment process, they are not accommodated.
Okay, thank you, because for bringing this issue, I think we'll find time to discuss that in-depthly. But of course, this is not in any way an attempt to undermine the integrity of the security agencies, and so they're doing their best. And we'll continue to monitor recruitment processes and see how best we could help, because we have a role to play in making sure that this country works and works for all of us. That's the much we can take, Prof, except if you have to say a word.
Well, Nigeria is a great country, viewers and listeners. Let's avoid anything that will destroy this country. The Rwandan genocide is something that should never, ever happen again. It's a dark hour in the history of the world. 800,000 to 1 million Rwandans, mostly ethnic Tutsis, and moderate Hutus and Tuas were brutally murdered. It was a terrible time in the history of the world.
Right.
We should never allow that happen. We're experiencing something along that line in Nigeria, and that is this ethnic hatred and religious bigotry that makes us to attack and kill each other. Let's live in peace. Let's stop the violence. Nobody wins in a war. Nobody wins when there is violence. All of us are losers when we fight each other. There is nobody who wins. Let's stop the ethnic supremacy. Let's stop all the supremacy tendencies and thinkings. And let's live in peace as Nigerians.
Let peace be your unavoidable companion at all time. Thank you, Prof, and thank you, Barrister, for being in the studio. And we also appreciate Dr. Katie and Dr. O2 for speaking with us, and our listener and the crew who made this possible, Shamsuddin, the GSM, and DJ Jobs. Everyone, tomorrow is going to be another lovely day. From me, could be. See you tomorrow, and bye-bye.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead.